Hey y'all, what's good? It's your girl Angel Bay in the building, holding it down for y'all today, the first Thursday of the year.
All
My
right.
co-host Jamila L. Bay is experiencing her headache today. Can y'all just send her some positive vibes and energy and show her some love and support when this do go live? Yes, that part. Let me also put up her hashtag handle for Instagram so you can go show her some extra love and support from my co-host. Okay, those parts. And because it's the first Thursday of the month and the year, we have the resident astrologer in the building. My co-host as well for today, Chris Odin.
Yeah, you
Yo,
already know. It's 2021 and we here. We just made it. Made it into
yes,
a crazy year.
those parts. So,
Right. So
yes,
once
so
again, listen, y'all could just follow me at Odin Constellation once again. If you need any questions, odinhealer@yahoo.com. And we're gonna get into some astrology energies to just take a look at what we seen taking place so far, especially with the incident we had yesterday out in the world. And we're just gonna look at some of the alignments and see what to expect. So we're gonna pull up an astrology chart so that you guys can see the energy while I go over it. So Angel has it up right there. What date is this on?
this is on the 7th today.
Oh, oh, the seventh? Okay, so let's stay. All right, we can stay there. Let me see. Let's stay on the seventh. You zoom in a little bit on my end. All right, so yeah, so right now, if you guys look to the right of the chart, you will see Mars 0 degrees right there, and you'll see it conjuncting Uranus and Taurus. And those red lines that you see on the chart represent oppositions and squares. So those are like frictions, challenges, right? So Mars entered Taurus yesterday on the 6th of the month, and that's why it's at 0 degrees. Can you zoom in on it? I see you moving it.
I'm trying to. I can't do much else than what I just did.
All right, that's
Um,
fine. Just yeah, you could do that. Yeah, just leave it. But yeah. So you got Mars at 0 degrees. When something hits 0 degrees, it means and it's starting a fresh energy. It's like something starting. So Mars is coming out of Aries. You know, Aries deals with initiation, applying action, and then Mars going into Taurus is changing the energy now. So when we was in Aries, you know, Aries was retrograde inside of Mars. Mars was retrograde in Aries. Then it went direct. So when we have Aries energy, that's like the I am energy, and that's all about initiation. And Mars there wants to just take action, right? It wants to just start something fresh because Aries is the first zodiac sign. It represents starting. It's a cardinal energy. Cardinal star signs start things.
mhm.
So now that Mars is going into Taurus, this is more of a this is like a slowing down or steadfast energy. This is more of Mars asking us. In Aries, we was initiating something. So now that it's in Taurus, Mars is kind of saying, okay, how can you be practical with what you want to create? So it's kind of taking your actions and bringing whatever you want to manifest into material gain. So
Mhm.
it's materializing things. So this is where we're going to start to sit back, and then people are going to start to basically be more practical about their work because we're moving into this working phase. We have the sun is still in Capricorn. And then that Mars, if you look on the chart, you can see the red lines, and they're showing a square to the sun. Actually, it's the square to Saturn and Jupiter, which is in Aquarius. So that's explosive energy, especially with Uranus there. Jupiter expands things. Saturn restricts. Saturn represents order. It rules Capricorn. Sorry, I got a message. And then yeah, it's and then we have Mars and Taurus, and it's squaring those energies. So yesterday, if you want to look at the incident that happened, You saw order was broken. Saturn represents order. Mars is action. There's a square there. That's friction. So that's Mars taking action, breaking the order. So that's, you saw yesterday how everybody just ransacked the US Capitol building, all the Trump supporters, and Jupiter always makes things bigger than what they need to be. So that turned out small and then it expanded that whole situation. So that right there was yesterday when Mars moved into Taurus. Now going into, let's look at, can you scoot over to the 8th of the month?
Yeah, no problem.
The 8th?
Oh, I saw how it shifted. If you paid attention, this
You saw
wheel
that?
here shifted. Yeah.
Right. So now if you look, is it on the 8th?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Cool, cool. All right. So now we're going to be looking at Mercury. Mercury is right there in Aquarius at the bottom of the chart next to the Sun and Pluto. Mercury is 0 degrees. You can see the 0 next to the 2 and 4 next to, with Saturn
Right
and
here.
Jupiter. Well, it's the next, yeah. See Mercury with the horns, looks like devil horns, that sign. The
This
two
one?
little horns. Yeah. Now see the 0 right above it?
Yeah.
Right. That's also 0 degrees. That means Mercury just moved into Aquarius on the 8th. It's going to go into Aquarius. Today's the 7th, which is tomorrow. So this energy is happening tomorrow. That's also adding to this Saturn, Jupiter, and Aquarius energy, but this is Mercury. So we have Mercury in Aquarius. It's dealing with our higher perspective, clear and bigger visions. It's a day to receive downloads because Mercury deals with our mind, and Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and that same Uranus energy right there with Mars and Taurus, that's squaring the Mercury in Aquarius. So we can receive downloads unexpected, but since it's a square, that's also a day to watch out for like arguments because Mercury deals with our communication.
Ooh,
So
say less.
right, right. Mercury deals with our mind. It's the ruler of Gemini, Miss Angel Bay.
Yes, sir.
So watch yourself.
I'll try.
Watch yourself.
I'll
Yeah,
try.
so right. And Aquarius is a fixed energy. Aquarius is an air sign that's fixed. So, we
Mm,
have this fixed, stubborn energy here. So if you was to get into an argument with somebody on that day, somebody's not gonna want to be wrong. Two people are gonna just be going at it. It's gonna be explosive because Mars is still there. And yeah, that's that Aquarius energy. And that's all about thinking about the future. And on the same day, you have Venus. If you look more to the left in Sagittarius, Venus right there goes 0 degrees. You see that? So we got Mars, Mercury, and Venus 0 degrees in the chart. Now, Venus is shifting from Sag to Capricorn. Venus deals with our relationships, right?
yeah, from Sag this one to this one.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So it came out at 29 degrees, which was yesterday, and that's actually a critical degree. Actually, I'm sorry, not yesterday. This is tomorrow's chart.
Mm-hmm.
So that 29 degrees is actually today, which is the 7th, and that's a critical degree. 29 and 0 is critical degrees in the charts. That's when something critical could happen, especially 29. And I like to use numerology because 2 and 9 also equals 11.
Mm,
So, right. So usually when we have, well, here's an example. Yesterday, Mars yesterday was when we had that riot. It was actually 29 degrees before it moved 0 degrees into Taurus. So that was a
mm,
critical degree when that happened. It was 29. Now we have Venus here going into Capricorn at 0. So now we
mm-hmm,
got 3 planets at 0. So this is 3 energy shifts. So now that Venus came out of Sagittarius, when
mm-hmm.
Venus was in Sag, it was more like optimism. It was more about partying and not giving a fuck. because Venus is all about pleasures and values. Sagittarius is an optimistic energy. And now that Venus shifted, it's in Capricorn. Now we're getting serious. Now relationships are getting more serious. Business relationships are going to begin to get more serious. This is just the
Mm-hmm.
right. This is just the beginning. So
Mm-hmm.
that 0 degrees, it's just starting. It's picking up. So we're going to start to feel it pick up as it goes through Capricorn. Um,
Honey,
right,
yes.
right.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's basically Venus in Capricorn will represent something like strong boundaries. It'll represent things like a focus on goals. It also represents like needing time alone. And it's kind of like that energy when you have Venus and Sag, you're like, oh yeah, somebody goes, hey, you want to party? And you're like, yeah, I'll go. When you have Venus and Capricorn, somebody will hit you up and say, hey, can you do this thing? And then you'll hit them with the, oh, I can't do that right now. I have to do this, or something came up and blah blah. Things like that type of energy that brings.
Mm.
That's being more focused on what you want to achieve. Venus is asking you, like, okay, apply work, enough of the play. Now it's time to work. So this whole month is all about initiation and working on whatever you're trying to do, wherever these energies are showing up, whatever you feel like you need to manifest, whatever you're working, your business. This is the month to start doing it because all this Capricorn and Aquarius energy. Yeah, there's friction, but it's Saturninian. So it's all about discipline now. So
Like
now let's
put up or
go.
shut up type thing. Is that it?
Yeah, it's like get your shit done because when Saturn, if you look at Saturn in a where's Saturn right now? Saturn is in Aquarius. Saturn's in the earlier degrees of Aquarius. Once Saturn right now is being nice. Remember, Saturn's the lord of karma. So once Saturn starts to pick up in Aquarius, right, it gets deeper. Right now it's at what, 2 degrees?
Yeah, right,
Jupiter's at
sure.
4. Yeah, Jupiter's
Mm-hmm.
at 4. Saturn's at 4 right there. Looks like that big 4. That's actually Jupiter.
Yep.
You can't see Saturn because Mercury's like kind of blocking it, but Saturn's right there
Mm-hmm.
at 2 degrees.
Right
Now,
there,
when
yeah.
Saturn, right, when the Lord of Karma goes deep, Saturn is basically, now that Saturn's in Aquarius, it's kind of like, okay, everything you was doing when it was in Capricorn, it's like, all right, are you serious now? Are you ready to move forward to the future? So this is the early stages of Saturn, like, all right, get your shit together because I'm coming. I'm about to test you. I'm about to see what you made of. Like,
And it goes,
you know,
ready or not, here I come.
right. It's
Hey,
like get
hi.
your shit. And if you've been slacking, then Saturn, Saturn is gonna
Woo!
is gonna hit you. Is gonna discipline you. Because remember,
Better be ready, honey.
Right? Saturn teaches us lessons. Saturn wants us to learn.
Pay the fuck attention. Not sorry.
Exactly. So
That
now
part.
let's go to the
And
10th.
get out your feelings, honey, because they ain't part of this part.
It
They
ain't no
not.
feelings. Venus and Capricorn. We ain't dealing with
They
feelings. Let's
don't
get
do
out of here.
feelings. They don't do feelings.
Nope. Take the feelings away. Now we're
Move
going
on.
to the let's go to the 10th.
No problem.
Perfect. So the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Well, the 10th and 11th is going to be pretty similar. Let's stay on the 10th and the 11th. When we have the 10th and the 11th is basically going to be Mercury conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius. So you see that right there? You see those planets in Saturn, Mercury, and Jupiter all on top of each other,
Okay,
right there
let's
at the
go.
bottom in Aquarius,
Mm-hmm.
right there. They're all on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that day, the 11th and
10th
the
and the
10th and the
11th.
11th. Yeah, those are
Mm-hmm.
days that's good for like signing contracts, understanding solutions, sharing information.
A word?
Um, ex yeah, you can, yeah, because Jupiter is the planet of abundance. Saturn likes to be in Aquarius because it's the ruler of Aquarius. Mercury deals with things like contracts, information, anything that deals with communication. So a day of Jupiter there, it's conjunct Mercury. So that's a day also to receive downloads, and that's a day where you want to, you can do a contract that day, and it'll probably turn out pretty good. That's a day to share some type of information. That's also a good day for teaching a lesson. Like if you want to be a teacher and you wanted to teach something to somebody, or maybe even spirituality, if you wanted to teach somebody like a subject like astrology, Mercury conjunct Jupiter is a perfect day for that in Aquarius. So that's a positive alignment. But then again, like I said, we have that Mars in Taurus, if you look to the right, and we have that Uranus still squaring. If you look to the right of the chart when Taurus,
Oh, Taurus here.
yep, now you see Mars and Uranus. Now pay attention to how Mars is getting closer to Uranus as we go through the chart. Just keep watching that because that's going to be the highlight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's getting closer. So there's about to be a big conjunction, and the day that that's going to land on is going to be pretty unique. So we're going to see. But let's go to the 12th. This is the 12th.
I don't know if y'all pay attention, but these circles they shift.
Yeah,
So
I
y'all
seen it
have
move
to
just now.
rewind and then play it back and watch the little adjustments that it
Yeah,
shifts.
I just saw the circle shift too.
Mm-hmm.
So now on the 12th, um, if you look on the chart in Capricorn, you will see the sun, the moon, and Pluto all on top of each other. That's a new moon that day. So we're gonna have a new moon in Capricorn that day.
Here, right?
Yep, that day is a new moon in Capricorn. And just like how I was talking about Venus, and you can see Venus chilling right over there at 5 degrees, right behind the moon, and
Oh, this
right
one.
there. There she go. She chilling right there dancing. She's trying to catch up. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so just like how Venus moved into Capricorn, this is a new moon. So this is Venus, this is Venus, the moon, the sun, and Pluto all in the goat, in the sign of the goat. So when you
Very
have a new
cool.
moon in Capricorn conjunct Pluto, this is like a transfer of power. So that right there is like why I think yeah, on inauguration day Biden will take office because that's like a transfer of power. That's like brand new structure, brand new beginning. That's the energy that's initiating this new structural energy that we're going to be facing. And then we also have that same new moon squaring the Uranus and Mars and Taurus. Now,
Mm-hmm.
be mindful that Uranus is still retrograde. If you look at Uranus real closely, you'll see it says 6 degrees with an R next to it.
Mm-hmm.
That
Right.
means Uranus is retrograde. So the energy is not energy, the shit that you saw yesterday, the energy is not it's not forward moving right now, like directly forward. But when we move the chart, let's go to the 14th. Oh,
Mm.
saw that?
Yes, sir.
Saw how that R moved?
Yes, sir.
Right.
It's down.
Now look at that. Now we got the Mars at 3 and we got Uranus at 6. So this conjunction is getting very close to an exact conjunction, and Uranus is now direct. It's out of its retrograde. It's out. So now we have all the planets in the sky direct right now. So all the energies are moving forward and pushing through. So this is intense. This is like fuel building up in a way. And
Mm-hmm.
now yeah, Uranus brings unexpected things. So now you have that Uranus direct. You want to be careful for arguments when I told you about Mercury squaring Mars because now
Remember,
Uranus
this
is
is the
direct,
the 14th, y'all. The 14th. Pay
right? The
attention.
14th. And these
Mhm.
things can happen, in a 5-day orb. So it could be the 14th, the 15th, 16th. But let's keep going. Let's go to now let's go to the 20th of the month, which is the day before my B day.
Aw.
Oh yeah, the solar return.
Yes, sir.
And it gotta be on the funniest day. So on the 20th, that is the inauguration day. Look
Mm-hmm.
at look at look at that moon and Uranus and Mars. They're Uranus and Mars is finally on its conjunction that day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very extreme, that alignment right there. When Uranus and the Mars come together and Uranus is direct now, that can be like a volcanic eruption, not an actual volcano, but something can erupt. So this is the inauguration day. So from the 20th to about the 24th, 25th, we're going to have that conjunction between Mars and Uranus. So that's a day
Mm.
that we need to pay attention to. Um, to also be careful on that day. I would say to be very careful and don't get into any arguments or fights with anybody because it could turn out really bad. Just try to stay to yourself basically. Or don't over incite an argument. If you feel like it's getting too crazy, just leave it alone. Just, don't over incite it. And then we're gonna move ahead and gonna go to the 28th, I believe. The 28th of the month. See that wheel turning. And the 28th, and look, we had the moon. Let's we got the moon in Leo, and that's a full moon. Because if you look on the chart, you will see the moon make it with a red line going across the chart and in
This one right now?
opposition. Yep, you see Leo, it's the Leo moon. And look at the opposition in what sign?
That's the Jupiter
That's the no, that's the sun. That's actually Saturn, Jupiter, and the sun in Aquarius. Yeah.
right there.
So wow, that's funny you caught it. The sun is on top of Jupiter, so that's an exact conjunction between Jupiter and the sun that day. And
Mm.
right, and then we have that's a full moon that day. So full moon in Leo is just it's a full moon. Full moons always highlight our emotions. It's an opposition between our actions and our subconscious. And this is all about our confidence because Leo represents confidence, and Leo wants to be seen, heard, and adored. So that's where the focus will be. It's also going to be some people are going to have that push and pull between, oh, I want to initiate this, but I don't want people to, make fun of me, or I don't want to come off as weird, or. So that's a day where you really want to tap into your uniqueness because all of this Capricorn energy is asking you to just work anyway and not care what other people think, especially with all this Aquarius energy too, because Aquarius is the original and creative. Aquarius does what it wants. It's the rebel. It moves how it moves, marches to the beat of its own drum. And
Mm.
then let's go to the 31st of the month. And this will be our last alignment. And if you look, we're gonna go down and you see on the chart, um, oh, is an op is a oh wow, Neptune. Oh yeah, I forgot Neptune is there. So things are really foggy right now, guys, too. Throughout this month, Neptune is still in Pisces. So there's a lot of fog still with our ideas and information. Um, don't believe everything you hear, don't believe everything you see, don't believe everything that's being said because of Neptune is illusions and delusions, fogginess. But if you look on the chart here on the 31st, Mercury is in retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde January 31st. So if you look at Aquarius, Mercury right there, see the R? I believe
Mm-hmm.
that's 20, what does that say, 26?
Yep.
Yep, 26 degrees retrograde. So that means, as you see, Mercury was getting ready to transition into Pisces, right? But now that it's retrograde, it means that it's moving backwards on the chart. So it's moving in the counter in the it's moving clockwise now. It's
Mm.
moving backwards. And it's gonna be there till I think about February 13th, maybe like that. Something like that. I think it goes direct in February, around the 13th. But when Mercury goes retrograde, remember we're internalizing. So this work that you see, Venus in Capricorn, you have um Saturn here in Aquarius. So we're working here. And then Mercury in Aquarius is having you relook at how you want to move forward for the future. It's going deep, it's diving in. It's like, okay, I have to reassess how I want to move forward. So even though, you know, we see that major Uranus and Mars conjunction in Taurus, so that
Mm-hmm.
that whatever happens around that time, especially in the world stage, you know, with the government, not just individually with people, that Mercury retrograde might have relations to that because it's going to say, okay, whatever happened that day, we're going to have to reassess and go back and relook at some things and try to figure out how we want to move forward with the future with our ideas, because it's
Mm.
Mercury, our mind, and how we want to communicate. And this is personally too with your own personal charts in your own life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's all the energies for January.
Mm. You sure about that? I'm just messing. Yeah.
Right. I hope the chart help people out. You get to see the energy, understand it a little bit better.
Yes,
It's an
indeed.
intense month. Second half of
Mm.
January is going to be intense, and then when we get into the February, it's gonna get intense. So right now, things are like gonna die down a little bit. It's just slowing down because remember at those 0 degree stages, and then it's gonna
Mhm.
pick up. So that shit you saw yesterday was like quick. Things are quiet right now. It's like, all right, that happened. Okay, everybody's talking their shit, and then it's gonna pick back up. There's gonna be some bullshit's gonna erupt.
Again. Yeah,
So let's
yeah.
get ready.
Uh, okay, we had a comment from Kiana. It said, yes, Leo moon. Yes.
Yes, I'm a Leo moon, so that's my full moon, and my birthday is January 21st. So two special days for me. Shout out
Yes.
to the Leos out there. Shout out to the Leos, and shout out to all the fixed signs. 'Cause that full moon is gonna affect all the fixed signs:
Mm.
Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. You're gonna get hit the most.
You froze for a second. You said what now?
I said the new moon in Leo, I mean the full moon is going to affect the fixed signs more than all the other signs, mutable and cardinal signs. So Aquarius, Scorpio,
I'm
Leos,
mutable.
yeah, you're mutable. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
really gonna your rising sign is fixed, but
Mm-hmm.
you're a mutable sign. But the full moon is a Leo, so that's fixed fire. So that's gonna affect the fixed signs more.
Mm.
If you have a full moon inside of a mutable sign, like Gemini, then it's going to affect all the mutable signs because it's a mutable energy. So
Okay.
Virgo will feel it, Pisces will feel it more.
Ah,
Science, baby.
she said, and yes, I'm posting it. Leave me in my box. Yes, I'm fixed.
I'm fixed too. We stubborn, but hey, it's good to be fixed because we keep shit together. That's what
And
being
she
fixed is
said
all about.
that part, and she forgot to put in Angel's voice. Yes, and I'm gonna say it. Yes, that part. Yeah. Well, that was very insightful. Very insightful. And I hope y'all pay attention because all this is true. All those parts. It's like, yeah, this is the true
Listen,
reason that we should be reading.
start following these energies, start writing things down, and then the best thing to do is if you want to learn astrology and you want to start navigating how these things affect you, you have to get your chart, right? And if you have a sign like Venus going into Capricorn, this is gonna affect everybody differently. It's not gonna affect everybody the same. I have Venus in Sagittarius, right? But Capricorn is my first house. I'm a rising. So Venus is hitting my ascendant, is my rising. It's not going to affect everybody the same. Some people have Jupiter and Capricorn. Some people have Capricorn in the third house. Some
Yeah.
people have the fourth houses in Capricorn. So what you do is you get your chart, you look at where the Capricornian energy is, and then you see where that planet is hitting it. And that's the theme that you'll start to see pop up in your life. That's how you're able to track the energies. And then you can start, navigating your way, setting things up to work in your favor. That's how I do it.
Mm.
That's what we all should be doing. That's the
That's
ancestors.
true
That's what the
reading.
ancestors did.
That's the true reading of readings. That's what we're supposed to literally be reading. That
That's
part.
how we read our charts. We go based off the energies according to our alignments personally. And
Mm-hmm.
then we look at the transiting alignments and we compare it to our charts.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Astrology is beautiful. It's our ancient science, and we need to get back to it. It's helped me navigate my ways, helped me understand people and things around me better. I've been able to see things that I didn't see before. I literally physically see astrology everywhere I go. When I go to work, I can see when the moon is in Scorpio because the mood is different. You can tell. And this is when it gets really fun. Like it gets really fun when you start following the moon phases and you
Mm.
start pay attention to the shifts of the day. When you go to work, you're around all these people. So this is the best time to you do your experimentations is what I did. So if the moon is in Sagittarius, study that energy. Say, okay, what does the moon in Sagittarius mean? Study that energy. When you go to work, guarantee you're gonna see that energy playing out around you from the people around you. The vibe is gonna be Sagittarian. Then the moon stays in the sign for about 2.5 days. So you get about 2.5 days of each energy. Then when the moon shifts a sign, let's say after Sagittarius comes Capricorn. When the moon goes into Capricorn, you go back to work. Watch how the mood is different. You that Sagittarian energy is optimism. People at work is more fun and they're more cool. The person that you didn't like probably doesn't get on your nerves. You're like, oh, she was actually cool today. Then when the moon goes into Capricorn, you see the mood change because Capricorn is a very serious sign. So then every time the moon goes into Capricorn, even us, when we have Mercury go into Capricorn, our moods are going to be more serious. We're going to want it internal, just like Venus going into Capricorn, where I
Mm.
said it's about wanting spending time alone. It's just like in the moon, when the transiting moon goes in that sign and you go to work. Look at the things around you. Literally, I promise you, pay attention to the
Mm-hmm.
energy around you. You're gonna
Yeah.
feel the shift, and then you can start to navigate just like that. It's easy. It's easy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so true. Facts on facts. And so,
Facts on
yeah,
facts.
yeah, that part and all those parts. And yeah, and then you realize like how much is really not about you personally. It's about the energy. And when you take you out of the equation and but focus on you at the same, see, that's some mind fuck right there. You got to focus on you, but realize that it's about you, but figure out how you fit in all that equation with the energy of the astrology
Hmm.
of all those parts. It's a
Hmm.
puzzle, but once you start to map out the puzzle and figure out the pieces, you'll be able to exist better in the world and then go back to self. And then
Right. When you
all of that is still within yourself.
Right. When you start to see where your weaknesses are in your chart, when you see where your place of career lies, then you wake up. You're like, oh shit, that's why. I'm not. That's why what I'm supposed to be doing. That's why I'm drawn to that. But why haven't I ever tried to work on that talent? The
Yeah.
energy was there, but
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know it was a part of you. You felt it, but now that you see if that was in your 10th house of career, you have that energy. That means that's what you're supposed to be going for.
And you know what? It just dawned on me that people will, if people focus on this part more in life, they'll be less likely to cast blame on other people instead of say like figuring out what's inside of them with their natal chart, because their natal chart is their true birth chart. And once you put
Hmm.
your astrology, your aligning with that part, then you'll start to figure out like it's whatever that I have, but fix it to the point where you understand it. And then so you can just like Jamila would say, glitch through the matrix, because
Hmm.
figure out how you are, your vibe is. So then when that frequency hits you, you can have your aura block that part So it doesn't even affect you in the way that it used to, because you have this here already figured out.
You got to remember, the chart is a snapshot of you at the moment of your birth. Literally, it's the spiritual astrology, the spiritual science. The study of spiritual science is like, it's a snapshot of where the planets were when you were born, when you took your first breath. That, and remember, they spoke about spirituality is the breath.
Yes,
And
sir.
that's when they write down your birth time.
Yes.
When the baby takes his first inhale, that's like the spirit, that energy. You came out of the womb, and wherever the planets were, you took your first breath, and that spirituality aligned within you. So now when you have your chart, you can see where those alignments were, and your spirit chose those things. You chose all those lessons, all those things. You chose to learn those things. That's why the South Node and the North Node, the South Node deals with what your past gifts, things that you've mastered in the past life. What it represents what we need to move away from. And then the North Node is what you need to learn in this lifetime. You understand? So it's all about you. And once you have your chart, you study that thing, and then you can work on yourself, and life gets easier. I found life to be way more easier once I started practicing this. So much easier.
Wow.
It takes time to understand, but hey, listen, it's worth it. Sometimes it takes time, but it's easy.
Yes, but I'm thinking like those people who they say if you don't learn your lesson, you're bound to repeat it. That part.
Yeah, that's Saturn, Satan, Kronos. You know what I'm saying? The eater of children. He's gonna. Saturn is the ruler. Is the ancient ruler of our physical reality. Saturn was literally known as the ruler of this realm, because in this realm we deal with what? Law, order, friction, power, control. Saturn is Satan, Lucifer, light.
Yeah, that part.
So yes, the Lord of Karma. What you don't learn, you will repeat. You will repeat in this lifetime. If you don't learn that lesson, you will come back here and you repeat that Lucifer. You will repeat that light.
So y'all better wake all the way the fuck up, all the fuck way up. Get your zodiac, your astrology, your natal chart, study it, read it. That's the true reading. Miss me with reading books of this, that, and the third. We're supposed to be reading self, astrology, the stars, all those parts. That's the true reading. That's what we're supposed to be understanding, that part. Yes. All right, y'all. Yo, this was a dope show today. I really appreciate it. I hope all y'all did as well. I hope y'all got some shit out of this. And rewind is a thing, so you can go and back and re-listen to it.
You can always rewind.
Yeah.
Be all right.
And, yes, that part. And
yeah,
so
I appreciate coming on here all the time. You know, I love coming on here and doing this. This is fun.
yes.
It's dope connecting with people, having other people listen and learn, because this is also about knowledge and learning. So
And
we learn from each other.
But nation building. When we start to learn this part, look and watch how the nation will build and grow. Because
let me tell you
something. God.
Let me say one thing. With astrology, it's so serious, is that when I finally get to where I'm trying to go, this is how we need to do with astrology. When you have a business, right? If it's something that deals with money, this is how we use astrology. If you have a business and you want it to flourish and you want to hire people, and you want people that, say if it's a business that requires lots of discipline, money management, you got to look at the signs.
Yes, sir. That part.
What's the signs of money?
I don't want to know your work history. I don't want to know your
Oh,
natal chart. I don't
I
want to
want to
know
see your natural
part.
spiritual talents, what you came
Yes.
with. You a Taurus, I already know you automatically gonna be good with managing money.
Yeah, but then you
May
gotta
not be
know.
true because also Tauruses like to overindulge. So if the Taurus is not disciplined, then that money can go to waste because Tauruses are also very spendy. They like to spend money on pleasures and food and snacks and eat.
Yeah.
So, but this is if we have a business and you're looking for serious people, you would look at, if I get job applications, how I'm doing my hiring is I'm looking at the astrology.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need, if I need someone to work on the computer and deal with paperwork, I'm getting me a Gemini or a Virgo.
Ah, yes. Thank you
If
very
I
much.
if I need
Yeah.
someone to hold the floor down and micromanage, right? Then that's either a Virgo or a Capricorn or even a
Hmm.
Taurus or any one of the earth signs because those signs are all able to manage. That's why when you go to work, you see Virgos managers, you see Capricorns are always the lead CEO or the manager.
Mm,
Capricorn represents the CEO of the zodiac. That's why they scale the heights of the mountain, the goat that
mm,
scales the mountain, it gets to the top of where it wants to be. So that's
mm,
how we need to do it. That's how
mm,
we need to do it.
mm. You
We
feeling
need
that,
to hire. We need.
Kiana?
Oh, I see the comment. Oh,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
true.
Yes, yes. Feel that
Hire,
energy.
hire. Even when you
Yes.
choose your friends, if you do music, right? You want to you hire music sign air signs. All the air signs are the music signs. Every single one of the greatest artists, all the greatest artists were Geminis. Why? Because Gemini deals with communication.
Mhm.
Gemini deals with words. That's why the greatest artists, Prince, Gemini, Tupac, Gemini,
Angel
Biggie,
Bay coming out
Gemini,
of the building.
Andre 3000, Gemini, Kendrick Lamar, Gemini. You see the lyricists are all Gemini because communication,
Look at me.
words, words.
Hello.
They're able to take words and flip them. Jadakiss is a Gemini. He wrote songs. A lot of people don't know that, but he did. Geminis are very talented.
Hmm.
This is how we need to do things. We need to do things based off the alignments and things, the energy will flow. Even with our relationships, start looking at the moon sign, not just the person's sign. Oh, I don't like Taurus. He's a Taurus. I had the last Taurus I had was this. They're not all the same. I hear that shit too much. It's
Yo,
true. It's true.
yo, you with it now. You with it. You with it. But
It's
yeah,
true. It's like, yo, that's not, it's not, they're not all the same. We have to stop with that. We got to get deeper into the science.
facts. Yes, facts on facts. And so, yes, and that is literally um about nation building. Literally.
Right.
Hmm. And all that part is how our ancient ancestors did some shit. And now that we are in the sign of Aquarius that you mentioned earlier, the previous show, when you were
Hmm.
on about moving into that part,
Yeah,
knowledge,
this is the
information,
age of
all those parts. Um,
this is the age of ideas and information. So our whole structure is going to be based off our ideas. So things we're going to be seeing things. Aquarius is a unique energy. Comes up with the craziest things that have never been heard before. So we're going to be seeing things that we've never seen before, things that we ideas we've never heard. And some of this stuff will be for the greater good of humanity. Some of it will be based off control.
mhm.
And then, Aquarius is rebellion. Will the people accept? This is more of a revolutionized energy. So there's going to be a lot of rebellion going on. A
Mm.
lot of rebelling. A lot.
Yeah. Hmm.
Technology, cryptocurrency, money is going to change. You might hear some things going on in the crypto world, even restrictions with crypto,
Yeah.
drops,
Yeah.
rises, because Taurus represents
Hmm.
finances. It's just going to be an interesting year. It's like 2020 2.0.
Mm. Sorry, yeah, that just hit. That just hit. Yeah.
2020 2.0. It's all, nigga, it's
Yeah.
already 2020 and 2021. We just saw a fucking riot yesterday. It's like, damn.
Yeah, that part.
I was dying. I was like, damn, we need already?
Yeah. Welcome to that part.
Yeah, it's like new
Hmm.
year, new revolution. Yay. Then you see niggas outside running into the US Capitol.
Like, but I wonder, that's never happened in history before. Mm-mm.
Well, actually, it has. The US Capitol's been burnt before.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, I looked into a lot of things in the history of the US Cap. A lot of things have happened to that building. So it's like this is like history repeating itself.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah, there was a few attacks on that building. I was reading articles about that like last night or 2 nights ago. And I was like, wow, history
Mm.
repeats.
Well, I should have known that. Why did I say that part? Yeah, because cycles. Yeah. Goodness gracious.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was a
Wow.
great show.
It was a dope show. I hope you all appreciated that part, the energy, the truth. I mean, this part you just gonna have to accept. Like, it's not sorry, it's not apologizing. It is what it is. And so take your spoonful of sugar and go and take it. Right? So learn, grow, focus on self. Self-help starts with self. Okay? All those parts. Hit up Odin if you need some information about your natal chart and those parts. He can help you walk through that part. But you still got to focus on yourself and do your own work, because can't nobody do for you but you. You want to grow, you want to improve, you want to level up, you want to do anything in life, you got to do it.
Remember,
Anybody
you
can do
always have
it.
free will. You still have your own free will. You make your own choices.
But it's still you.
It's still you, but you make your choices. You make your bed at the end of the day. Whatever doesn't happen for you, you didn't apply enough effort.
Can't blame nobody else but you.
Mm. I
And
stopped. I stopped complaining once I realized that, especially with astrology. I was like, yeah, it was me the entire time. Mhm. I was slacking. You realize that shit. It's like, oh, ain't no coincidence. It's you.
no, that's another thing. There's never a coincidence. That energy was already there, honey, because
Yeah, it's like you always have the opportunity.
it cannot be created nor destroyed. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be uplifted or, the other part. Yes. And so on that note, peace and love, everybody. Islam, and we will
Islam.
see you next time. Enjoy your week, because tomorrow's
Peace.